All right, we are live in the GHL Mastery Facebook group. As always, guys, if you are watching this live, let us know in the comments that you are watching it live. And if you're watching it on the replay, whether that's on Facebook or on YouTube, also just let us know that you're watching it on the replay. We're going to be covering a topic today that, quite honestly, is the weakest topic for both Brendan and I. We're really good software developers, but we're not super good website and funnel designers. Although the reason that I wanted to talk about this topic is it just kind of matches up with what we've been doing so far with understanding the basics and kind of building out your assets, building out your custom fields, custom values, forms, and surveys. Next up is websites and funnels. How do you collect the information? How do you sell products? And how do you do it quickly, effectively, and efficiently with Highlevel? And I think that there is no better platform out there than Highlevel for doing exactly what I just said, getting a product, a system, a funnel built out quickly and efficiently so that you can literally launch a brand new business in a day. I've done it. And I am not a funnel builder. I'm not a designer. I think Brendan and I were talking about this morning where it's like, I can put together a template pretty good, but when it comes to designing color palettes and things like that, I am absolute crap at it. And so we're going to talk a lot about Highlevel and Highlevel templates and give you guys some epic options, but we're also going to be covering some basics around funnel building and understanding how to mobile optimize things and so on and so forth. Now, a lot of the times when you're using templates, you don't have to do this kind of stuff. You just have to tweak and customize things. But there are some quick tips on what types of sections and things like that you should just have on mobile and what you should have globally on both mobile and desktop. That's really going to speed up your build times when you understand these components so that you can really quickly launch a website, really quickly launch a funnel, and start selling products or collecting leads. And so with that being said, let's go and dive into the funnel building structure. Now, I am using the new funnel builder, but for those of you that don't know how to get the new funnel builder, I personally like it. I've been obviously building websites and funnels and messing around with templates for a long time, but we're going to go into labs here. And down under labs, you've got the brand new funnel and website builder. So if you want to see it as we have it today, September 22nd, 2023, you got to go and turn this on. And this is going to be live in 28 days. So 28 days from today, this will be the new norm in Highlevel. And as with all things, whenever we're doing some sort of a training, chances are in 28 days, it's going to look slightly different, but the concepts that we're going to talk about are going to be the same, whether you're using the old funnel builder or the new funnel builder. It's just going to be a matter of where things actually sit and exist within those. So first of all, I want to talk about how do you do this quickly, right? How you do this quickly, quite honestly, is templates. Templates are going to absolutely save your life if you're anything like me, where you are not a designer, you are not a good website funnel builder. And so one of the things that I have done over the past 5 years sitting in my Highlevel account is anytime I've purchased a website, anytime I've purchased a funnel, I actually have an entire sub account that is dedicated to housing all of my templates. And what does this allow me to do? It allows me to really quickly go in and find the templates that I want, both for websites and for funnels. But it also allows me, if I wanted to make a copy or duplicate something that somebody else has already done inside of my own brand new funnel with my own brand new design, I can take all of the inspiration from the templates that I'm using and put them into my own funnel designs. And I'm going to give you guys a really quick example of this. I am going to go to store.joinghlmastery.com. Again, this was built entirely with a template. So if you've ever been to any of our websites, they all look and feel and function exactly the same. And that is because we had a template built for us and we just use that for everything. However, with this particular store, I needed to create unique looking order pages. And again, I am not a funnel designer. So what did I do? I went into my funnel repository right here and I found a order funnel that I really liked, that looked good. And so what I was then able to do was just kind of copy the same layout and design that they had in their order funnel structure and put it into our order funnel structure. And I was able to do this really quickly. And by doing it once, I can now just duplicate this numerous times. And if you saw inside of our funnel and website store, like there's just a ton of these products and templates that you can purchase. And so I needed to make it super quick, super easy to just quickly update things. And so what did I do? I created a template, right? And that's one of the coolest things about Highlevel right now is just the ability to create templates. Now, I'm just going to briefly cover this because in case you didn't already know, if you're new to the Highlevel environment, you may or may not know, but they have tons and tons and tons of templates. So you can create one from scratch or you can create one from a template. And again, guys, this is going to save you just so much time. It is ridiculous how much time you are going to save just by using templates. And you can browse just tons and tons of these things. Find one that you like, find one that's got the color palette that you like, and so on and so forth, and just kind of drop it in. You can then view the semi-live funnel right here. And this will kind of show you what it looks like, how it works, and so on and so forth. You can even click on some buttons and see what they do, and they go to the different pages. So you can just grab one of these and you can change it. Doesn't matter if it's in the same niche. It doesn't matter if it's in the same wheelhouse as what you're doing. If you like the layout and you like the design, use it because you can very easily change things within the funnel builder. So templates, this is what I'm going to focus on because like I said, the goal here, especially if you're new to Highlevel, is to get out of the gate quickly so that you can start selling your products, you can start testing your services, and give somebody a place to go right now that they can actually go and purchase from you or get more information or book with you or register for a webinar, whatever the case may be. Have a template built so that you can do this. Now, I'm going to go through a template that I've got right here. And inside my funnel library, I've got an entire folder of these things. I bought these like 2 years ago. And I'm just going to show you how you can actually develop a quick product or webinar funnel based off of one template design. Now, a lot of these ones, this one specifically, it only has a single page. So you're like, well, how useful is that? In my opinion, it's incredibly useful because what you can now do with this is duplicate the actual design of the funnel into your next pages. And that way it kind of keeps the branding consistent. It keeps the look and feel consistent. So what I typically will do is I'll take the baseline funnel right here. Let's go into the editor and let's make something out of this. I'm going to ask one of our VIP folks that are on this call live right now. I'm going to pick on somebody. So if I call your name, I want you to come off mute. I'm going to pick on Andre because Andre is the man. He's always chatty. He's always smiling. He's always got a good attitude. So Andre, can you come off mute real quick? And maybe if you feel comfortable with doing this publicly, show us your beautiful face. Otherwise, Andre, tell me about your offer. What do you do in the Highlevel world?
Oh man, a few things. I'm primarily focusing right now on multi-level marketing, right? So trying to get some MLMs up and running.
Okay.
And yeah, just get them to utilize the system in Highlevel and just build out some funnels and templates.
Okay, so I want you to tell me real quick, who is your target audience and what is their biggest problem?
Boy, their biggest problem is follow-up.
Okay.
So, and that's for, multi-level marketing companies as well as, salon suites and things such as, those guys.
Okay, so if you were to pinpoint, and the reason that I'm asking this is because when I'm building a website or a funnel, and I build mostly funnels, and I'll briefly touch on the difference. A website is, in my opinion, it's a glorified business card. There's lots of options. There's lots of tabs. You can click off one page and go to another. And it's really about providing information. Whereas a funnel, which is what we use for literally everything that we do, is a piss or get off the pot style website. It offers you one thing. And so the reason that I asked you that question, Andre, is what is the one thing that you feel that MLM companies or MLM people need right now?
They need clear, concise communication for a direct product versus everything that they offer.
Okay, so we need to offer a system in which they can effectively communicate and basically stop losing opportunities for their MLMs because they're not talking to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
which of course we know Highlevel can do. So the reason that I ask that is because when you're building a website or you're building a funnel, the very first thing that people should see on your website is a very clear call to action and what is this product or this service going to do for my business. And the reason that we talk about this a lot in the VIP calls is like understanding who you're serving and go and talk to the people that you are serving so that you know the problems that they have, so that you know the solutions that you can create. This is exactly why you want to actually pinpoint that right out of the gate. So it's the first thing that they see, that this person can actually solve this system, or this solution speaks directly to my problem. And that's what you want to put at the very top of your website or your funnel. There's a very clear call to action and solution for the specific problem that your customer's having. So we're just talking about the overall just layout structure of a funnel, and how to use kind of templates to do this. So headline is literally going to be solve your problem by doing X without Y, right? So that's kind of how we like to write our headlines out. So it's like, for us, let's just throw out a couple examples. Like the GHL Mastery VIP group, we help agency owners understand the platform so that they can sell more and build less effectively, right? So that they can just build things quickly, and understand the platform. We offer support. We offer, hands-on solutions. So we're going to cover all of those topics when we build a funnel or we build a template, so that everybody knows exactly what we do. So headline first, and then a brief little description of how you actually solve that problem or why that problem needs to be solved in the first place. And you're going to talk specifically to your audience when you do that. Now, I want to show you something just in terms of a website layout. How many of you guys visit websites more on your computer than you do on your phone? Just put like thumbs up in the chat if you use your computer more than your phone. So I actually do, because I sit in front of my computer all the time. But the vast majority of consumers are looking at all of their stuff from the mobile phone. So I want to quickly talk about mobile optimization when it comes to a funnel. I had a conversation about this morning with a friend of mine who I'm actually allowing to use my system to build his website for his brand new business. And I always talk about build your website the way that you want it to look on desktop, and then go into mobile to modify it. And I want to give you an example of this. Now, like I said earlier, templates, when you buy them, they're often already mobile optimized. But sometimes it's confusing to understand, hey, if I change this thing on desktop, is it going to change over here? So I want to talk about mobile optimizing your funnel when it comes to images and headlines and so on and so forth. So let's just quickly take a look at this current section. If we go into advanced, we can see that this current section is visible on both desktop and on mobile. Okay. Now, within this section, we've got all of these different rows and columns. So we're going to check this first row. We're going to look at advanced. It is also available on both desktop and mobile. Now we're going to go and we're going to look at this section right here. Actually, this is a great opportunity to show you guys one of my favorite features of the new funnel builder. If you'll notice, I can't actually click on the column or the row here, sorry, because it's basically got no padding. So if you want to pop that open and get a little bit more padding so you can select that, you can just come. Actually, no, right now I'm in a row. So here's my favorite, one of my favorite features of the new builder is the layers. I can select the page and I can select the section, which is this section here. And then within this section, I can select the 2-column row, which is the top one here. I actually want the second 2-column row. Now I can come here and see this is also both mobile and desktop.
Now, really quick, you don't have to click on them and then go in. If you hover over the box and look in the upper right-hand corner, if there's nothing there, it's in both. If you see the little desktop icon, it's only in desktop. If you see the mobile icon, you wouldn't see it on this page. You'd be in the mobile settings in order to see that.
So here's an example of what Brendan's talking about and kind of where I was heading with this in the first place. Yeah. So far, this entire section, both columns, both rows have been available on both mobile and desktop. But if I go to mobile, there's a slight difference here. And I want to talk about that because understanding just build and design layout. On desktop, everything that is on the left-hand side on mobile is going to be on the top. So if you've got a 2-column row and you put text on the left and an image on the right, your text will always be above your image. And then when you go and you do something like this down here, where you are kind of rotating back and forth between your headlines, your image, and then you've got your image and then your headlines, this is going to look really funny on mobile. And so I wanted to kind of quickly just show you guys this overall structure, because if I go to mobile mode, I've got this right here, which is actually just mobile only. Now, why would I have a mobile only image if my current structure would have headline and image on top? Why would I want to do something like that? Brendan, your hand is up.
Sometimes what happens when you switch, because right now you've got your wording on the left, you got your image on the right. What happens to that is because of that layout, your wording will go on top of your image. If you want to change the order and you want your image and then your wording underneath, you'd have to change that in the mobile section.
Boom. So I'm going to show you guys what this actually looks like in the desktop version when I actually show it and make it visible on desktop. And here's another really important distinction. So right now, this hidden section on desktop is only the image. And the reason that I want to make it only the image is because I want to easily be able to come into my funnel and edit the text so that it's visible on both mobile and desktop. I've seen a lot of people build their funnels this way, where they're like, well, this whole section needs to be mobile optimized. The problem when you do that is that when you go and you change text on your desktop version, you then have to also go into your mobile and change it on your mobile version. Otherwise, it doesn't change. So by doing this method, I added a 2-column row or a 1-column row, pushed the picture all the way over to the right, and then I made it mobile only. And then this image right here, just the image, I made desktop only. So this image doesn't show up on mobile at all. And that's kind of what creates this effect here, where the image is on mobile, and then you've got the headline and then no image below it. Because if we just did a standard, left to right text to image, then this image would end up being below this text on the other builder. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand that? So just understanding how all of this kind of stuff works is super, super important to build this super quickly. Now, just because this is a template, obviously this right now is to download a free ebook, doesn't mean we can't change its functionality, right? So let's talk about making this more of a, Andre was, automate your communication and stop losing MLM leads, right? Now, I always like to make headlines bold and big and loud. So what I'm going to do here actually is, once I select the headline element, I'm going to go over into advanced. And is it not? No, it's not in advanced. It's in general. I want to make the letter type. Where is it? I always forget this. How do I make it bold or all capitalized, Brendan? I always forget where it is on the different ones. I thought it was in advanced. Oh, there it is. Text transform. Yeah, uppercase. So I'm going to make this whole thing uppercase. And then to add a little bit of flair, a little bit of style to your headlines, I'm going to take this, stop losing MLM leads. I'm going to make it bold. Now, by making it bold, it just changed the color, because I obviously already had it preset that bold was going to be blue. The way that you do that is you can change your colors for your different bold, italic, underlined, all that sort of stuff. You can make this stuff all look a little bit different and just kind of make it pop a little bit. Now, for somebody who is not advanced when it comes to custom CSS and things like that, this works great for me, but you can make these things do really cool things when you know a little bit of CSS. A guy like Brennan can make this thing, fade, be a gradient, make it look all sorts of cool whenever you've got a bold headline. But just to make things pop a little bit, you can just use the color selectors for the different types of text in here as well. Now, because we're going to talk about automating your communication and stop losing leads, this is obviously, let's just say this is a free training. So let's just click click the link below to view our free training. This is now going to be a lead magnet type situation here, right? Now you can add as much context to this as you want. You can change this image to whatever you want. You can say, go watch our free training. And then maybe you put an arrow or something here, but let's go here and let's click on view training. So all I'm doing is I'm taking a template that was designed for a ebook and I'm changing it to be what I want it to be. Now I'm going to actually take this. I'm going to delete this whole element here. And I'm just going to make this like so. And I might even want to make this button a little bit bigger. So let's go to advanced. Let's go. Is that yeah, it's a button element. I want it to be fluid. That normally is in right there. There it is. I want it to be full width. Make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to center the text on the button itself. And that is down here. That is centered. That's weird. We've got probably some padding that we got to deal with. Let's make that 0. Let's make that 0. I don't understand what this person did with this template. So this is one of the problems that you're going to end up running into when you're using templates, is that sometimes people are far more advanced than you, like this particular use case.
That's all CSS.
It's probably all CSS and forcing it to the left, but that's okay. You got to get the picture. If I wanted to change this, I could just delete this and just add in my own new button, but I won't worry about it today. So you kind of get the picture. Now this button is going to open the pop-up. Now what is in the pop-up? Nothing. Now, in the previous weeks, we added forms and we added surveys. So we're going to open the pop-up here. We're going to just add a 1-column row. And I'm just going to go and I'm going to grab a form. Now, this is not the type of form that I would actually use for this. And holy cow, that looks hideous. Let's save and let's preview this. And why is it looking like that? Does it actually look like that when we go live with it? It does. So this is brutal. Let's change that to the survey. Probably what we did there is when we built the form, we made it a little bit too wide or a little bit too narrow. So let's go and add the survey, which I believe has all of the same questions. There we go. So the idea here is now you've got a lead capture pop-up working for you, right? And now if they submit this survey, what do we want to have happen? We can either use the action from the survey builder. And if you recall from the last week's training about surveys and forms, this button action in a funnel will always override what your form or your survey redirect is. So you can either use the redirect from the actual form itself, or you can go to next step in a funnel like so, which is what we're going to do. But there is no next step. So what are we going to do? I'm just going to assume that you guys would understand and know how to kind of go through here, change an image, update headlines, change some images and things like that. Again, a lot of the times when I'm dealing with this kind of stuff, I'm like, man, for me to make an angled picture like this, I would just suck at it. But Canva is going to be your friend here. One of the things that I recommend all the time is make sure that if you are creating images like this, you create them in Canva, you make them the same size, all of them. So if you're going to use square, you make them square, and then download them in JPEG format, unless they need to have a transparent background. And then you can download them as a PNG. But JPEG is going to reduce the file size and make your page load a little bit faster. So just bear that in mind when you're creating your images. Just make sure that you have a Canva template of some sort where you can make all of your images the same size so they don't look super, super weird. So let's back out of this. And now we're going to actually create basically the free training. So they've opted in, whether it's a form or a survey, and now you're going to allow them to watch your training video. So what I typically do is I will start with my baseline template, just like this. And then I'm going to just clone this, and I'm going to clone this step in this funnel. Now, one thing I want to do almost immediately is, and I do this every single time I clone any page in a funnel, is that I'm going to go to publishing, and I'm going to change what this is. So I'm just going to say this is the webinar page. And I'm also going to change this because it's going to look like crap. Website webinar is what I'm going to call it. Now this is going to update the actual path when you want to, if you wanted to just send this link directly to somebody so they could go watch the webinar, you can send them the path URL. Okay, so now that we've got the second page, we're going to go in here and we're going to edit it. And this is why I love templates, because now my styling is going to be exactly the same as it was on the previous page. But I've got a whole bunch of crap that I've now got to clear out. Now, I kind of like the look and feel of this section for a video. So I'm actually going to keep this section, but I'm going to blow out the rest. I don't want any more of these. I can leave the footer there. I'm also going to blow out this, and I'm going to blow out. Actually, you know what I'm going to keep is I'm going to keep my logo at the top. And I'm just going to do this. And I'm going to delete that. I would probably put a little headline right here about what the video is. And then this time we're going to delete the image. We're going to go and we're going to add a new row, one column, add an element. We're going to add a video element. And probably going to want to play around with the padding a little bit here to make it go up a little bit further. So you can also, with your margins, you can make these negative. And by making them negative, they will go up or down farther than the standard defaults, which is what I would want to do in this particular use case. So I'm going to make that -50 to move it up the screen just a little bit. And now I'm going to show you guys a trick that we actually talked about and I personally learned on our VIP calls. We're going to do a hosted video real quick. And we're going to select a video file. And now I'm going to have to go find one. Let's do MP4. Perfect. Let's do that one just for fun. So this is now going to download the hosted video, and I can then click it. It's going to take a little while for it to encode, but why would you want to use a hosted video? Well, when you use a hosted video instead of a YouTube link, you can actually use workflow functions like tracking how far along somebody got in a specific video, which is super handy. And now this is the new feature that we just found literally the other day, generate leads from a video. So what this actually does, which is pretty cool, we can turn that on and we can determine how far through this video do we want this pop-up to show up and for the video to stop playing so that we can capture lead information to get the next step. I took a couple Alex Hormozi courses and every single one of his videos had this. It was like you'd watch first video and you'd watch the first 5 minutes and then it would pop up and get you to put your information in for something to watch the rest of it. And every single video in his training had it. So it's a great way to capture leads. And what you can do here is you can select your form. I've got this crappy one. And then select how far through your video do you want this pop-up to actually show up. So if you wanted it to show up 5 minutes in, you can just put 05. If you wanted to show up 30 seconds in, you can just do 30 seconds. And then you can either choose to allow the user to close the form and continue watching the video or not. And if they don't complete the form, they cannot continue watching the video. So pretty slick way of actually capturing leads right from a, just a webinar page without an opt-in form. Like go and watch this free webinar. They get on your website, they can start watching the webinar, and then a form pops up if they want to keep watching and see how you worked your magic and things like that. So really, really cool feature that's brand new. Literally, I didn't know about it until what, Wednesday, Brendan?
I think that's when we learned about it.
Yeah, so it's super, super handy little feature. Basically, I'm going to hit save. Now, one of the functions that you could do with this is that you could actually have, a form pop up that auto-populates the contact information and gets them to say like, yeah, I want to order this. This looks amazing. And then it will redirect them to the next page, which just happens to be an order form. So let's just save this. I'm actually going to delete all of these elements here because we don't need them. We just want people to focus on the video itself. And actually, here's another really cool, I'm actually just going to show you this because it's kind of neat. I'm going to add, so I've done this a few times, which I used to do this to replace this kind of function right here. But one of the other things that you can actually do is you can do timers. and you can do a minute timer down here. You can set this to whatever time you want it to be. So again, I'm just going to make it like 5 minutes. And what you can do from here is that you can actually use this timer to show or hide entire sections or elements of your funnel. So you can build an entire section or element down here that is, to get them to move to the next step, which is to go to order. You can build an entire order function right here, and then that will show up 5 minutes into your video. So the way that you might want to do that, instead of sending them to a thank you page, you can just let them order right here by adding an element. Let's go and add an order form. I like one steps, but there are use cases for both. A one-step order form is really, again, it's very funnel-esque, which is piss or get off the pot, right? Buy or don't. Whereas a two-step order form allows you to collect lead information prior to them going to order. So when you do a two-step order form, they can submit their name, email, and phone number, go to the next step. Well, now you have a lead, whether they purchase or not. And so that allows you, the two-step order form structure allows you to do kind of abandoned cart sequences where, they may have filled out the opt-in on your two-step order form, but they didn't purchase. So you can set up your workflow so that on an order form submission, opt-in action, you can wait 30 minutes. And then if they don't purchase, you can start firing emails to them saying, hey, come back and get this awesome thing, or offer them a discount, or whatever the case may be. You can do that with a two-step order form. You cannot do that with a one-step order form. So let's kind of look at order forms, because I think that if you want to make money and you want to make money quickly, again, there's no better platform than Highlevel to quickly build and launch a product. And so within an order form, I get a lot of questions about this. Like, I don't like the look of this. How can I change what elements exist in the order form? So what you're going to do is you're going to click into the order form itself. And then you're going to click on advanced. Now in advanced, you've got your headline. So this is the headline here. This is the headline here. So get your thingy now, right? You can have your subheadline for this. Save 50% for taking action today. Create urgency. And then whether or not you want to show company name or not, you can just turn on or off, toggle that on or off. Full name, email, phone number are there by default. You can turn phone off as well. I always turn phone on. And then you can choose, what your placeholders want to be. So what is your email? You can do things like that by just changing the placeholder fields. Now, shipping is another really, really important feature. And every time somebody asks me like, hey, how do I automate creating an account or a sub account? They'll oftentimes have shipping information, and then they'll ask for the shipping information again on an onboarding form. Whereas if you just leave shipping information on, you can obviously change what it says. So shipping, well, I actually don't want it to say shipping. I want it to say company info, something along those lines. And they can get their full address, city name, all that sort of stuff, which you need to create a sub account anyways. So I usually just leave that stuff on if I'm doing this for a SaaS subscription, just because it saves a ton of time. However, you can also turn this off. So you can just come down here and you can hide shipping. So anytime I'm selling just a basic product, if I'm selling a funnel or I'm selling a snapshot or even a subscription to the GHL Mastery VIP group, I just leave it as simple as humanly possible to get people to jump in and purchase. So that's kind of some of the basics around order forms. Enabling cart mode will allow your customers or your prospects to adjust the quantity. And if you've got multiple products in there, they can select multiple products and adjust the quantity if you have cart mode enabled. Whereas when you have cart mode turned off, it only allows them to select one of the products. So an example of this would be, you've got 3 different SaaS levels. I would turn cart mode off because you don't want them to purchase all 3 of your SaaS modes. Well, maybe you do. You make a lot more money that way. But you want to turn cart mode off and allow them to choose your basic, pro, advanced, whatever the case may be, so that they can just purchase that one product. Toggle product descriptions on or off. So when you create your products, you create your product descriptions and you can toggle that on or off. And then enabling order bump products here is also a way that you can add that little flashy button down here for products to get them to add to their system. Enabling coupon codes. So this is a really, really important one to know. In Highlevel, you can create coupon codes, but coupon codes are only going to work currently. One day, hopefully this will change. These will only work for one-time purchase products. It does not work for subscriptions. Okay, so enabling coupon codes only works for the one-time products. Now, sticky contact. Here's a fun way to think about this. If the customers themselves are the only ones hitting this form and they're coming from a previous page or they're coming from your CRM and getting to your order form, turn sticky contact on, because it's just going to make that ordering process snappy, quick, and easy where they don't have to fill in their information. However, one of the things that we have done ourselves is that we actually turn sticky contact off on the vast majority of our order forms. And the reason for that is that we've got people internally who actually help people on sales calls to purchase products. And so by turning sticky contact off, your own internal sales team can actually load up a website and enter the customer's information and actually take the credit card over the phone and purchase a product right then and there. So you do not want sticky contact turned on if you're going to have ever, whether this is a form survey or an order form, if you're ever going to have an internal person filling out that form, sticky contact must be off. Otherwise, you are going to end up in a world of hurt in terms of just duplicated or merged contacts with your employees, which is no good, no fun. New contact on every purchase. This is really only relevant if you have allowed duplicate contacts turned on. I have never turned it on in my life. And then validate disposable email. This is just going to do email validation for you on the actual email field that was inputted. And again, you can turn on the visibility for mobile and or desktop. Order forms are pretty dynamic, so you don't really need to worry too much about that. VIP folks, does any of you guys have questions on what we just talked about? No, going once, going twice.
A couple of things to cover on this. So he has the one thing that I don't like is having this timer just sitting there while they're watching, because then they're focusing on that timer and going, what? So what you can do with that, the timer still works. You can hide it on both desktop and on mobile so that it's in the background and is still operational.
Yeah.
So
and thanks for bringing that up, Brandon, because I wanted to show you with the timer. Like I said, I added this order form. So maybe you want this order form to pop up at a certain time frame. So we're going to show an element and we're going to show the order form. Let's go find it. Highly recommend naming your things because it's going to make it a lot easier for you to find them when you're doing things like this. So I'm going to hit show element. Now, currently this element is already showing. So what you're going to want to do is go to advanced. And like I said, you're going to change the visibility on your order form. So that order form is not visible until this timer hits 0. And then like Brendan said, you're going to hit advanced and you're going to hide both of those things. So once that timer hits 0, your order form is going to pop up on your page below the video, which is going to give them the option to purchase. So super, super handy little feature there. So let's go ahead and save this.
now really quick on that, because what's going to happen is you're going to hide that and you're going to go, well, crap, now it's hidden. How do I get to it? That was the feature that Adam showed you before. That's why it's so great to have these layers, because now you can go right to your timer and be able to grab it and get to the settings and be able to visualize it again. And you can show that element again.
Yeah. So that's right down here.
No.
Is it up here?
Go one more higher. You have some mobile elements that you have not deleted yet.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's right. So yeah, that's another thing to remember. Mobile elements are still here, so you're going to have to go and delete those too. That's why I covered that in the beginning. As I said earlier, guys, I am not a funnel expert. I've just learned my way around it. And it's always a trial by fire whenever I do any sort of funnel building.
So Steve has a quick question, and the question is, does the timer start on page load or when the end user hits play on the button? It comes in on, and he meant on the video, not button. It starts as soon as the page loads.
Okay, so there's two potential answers to this question, right? So right now we've got a timer set on the video. From what I understand, we haven't played around too much with this. This timer is going to start when the video is played. So it's going to key off of the time in which the video starts. Whereas the page timer that we put on here, that is going to start on page load every single time. So that's kind of use your discretion in terms of like autoplay on or off and so on and so forth.
We definitely have to play with that timer that's on the video, because we don't know if you hit play, that timer starts, and if they pause the video, that timer continues. My guess is that they linked that timer, that it will go and look at the timer on the video. So when they reach the 30-second mark, no matter how many times they paused, that's when that will show up.
Yeah. We got to test it. All these new features coming out at a rapid pace. We just got to test them.
We have our thoughts on how they will work, but we have to see if that's actually the program.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So now we've got our template for the webinar page. We're going to clone this again. And then basically their only option was watch the webinar and purchase, or watch the webinar and don't. So we're going to make an assumption that they did purchase, and we were just going to go and we're going to build a thank you page. So we're going to go publishing, and we're just going to say thank you. And we're going to change that to thank you. Don't add spaces, whatever you do. All right, so now here's one of the other cool things about funnels that not a lot of people know about. You can use dynamic content in your funnel content, which means you can use contact keys, you can use custom value keys, all of that sort of stuff. So for example, this person just watched the webinar and they just purchased. So I'm going to delete the video. I'm going to go and I'm going to write thank you. And then I'm going to actually use the keys. So contact dot first underscore name. That is going to dynamically populate their name onto this funnel. So I'm actually going to come in here. I'm going to make that bold, make it blue. And then you've got some other funky elements like order confirmation. So you can actually come in here and you can add order confirmation down here. This is going to show them exactly what they ordered right here on the page, and you're off to the races. So really basic funnel design. Now, like I said, we use templates for absolutely everything. And inside this funnel repository, I've got these, I think it says 37 templates, but I've actually got 12 of them in here. And our VIP folks, I have got a little present for you. These are all just really beautifully designed template funnels that you guys can start kicking stuff off with. And if you're here right now on this call, Brendan, I'm going to ask you to write down a list of everybody who actually showed up real quick.
Right. I got
and everybody that showed up, everybody that showed up is going to get all of these funnel templates. We're going to email them out to you. So as soon as Brendan gets back, he's going to write down the list of everybody who showed up, and I'm going to get you guys all of these funnel templates. They are fantastic. So guys, I've got a lot more when it comes to funnels, but I've only got a limited amount of time to do these videos and these lives. So if you have questions on funnel structures, setups, what are all the creative things that you can do with them, definitely hit me up, shoot me a message. Always happy to help wherever I can. And if you want access to these funnel templates, I'm going to make you guys an offer. Now, if you're watching this on the replay or you're watching this live right now, if you guys join our VIP program under the trial, so I'm going to post the link somewhere on this video later on, but if you join this today, I will also give you guys all of these funnel templates. And you guys are going to get access to these awesome people who are sitting here. They've only got 3 of you on camera right now, but every single week we go live Mondays and Wednesdays, and we work with all of these guys and gals to help them build and work within their GHL systems and support them when they're having any issues. So if you join right now for the trial price right now is at $47 for the first 30 days. I will also throw in the funnel templates that you guys just saw in this video. So with that being said, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Take care.